Well, at the end of my last video, I said that the next video would probably be getting one of our antique outboards out and bring the outboard tank in the shop and get one of the outboards running. But there's the outboard tank right there. It's frozen to the concrete. It's about 16 degrees out here right now, and I have decided to do something else for a video instead of digging that out of the snow right now. So we decided, instead of digging the outboard tank out now and getting a boat motor in here today, we're gonna make a pot of coffee. But we're not gonna just make a pot of coffee. We're gonna use one of our old Coleman stoves that's out in the side building. We're gonna go out and find one that we probably never had lit before and has been sitting out there for who knows how many years now. Let's walk out in the side building and see if we can find a camp stove out here. Yeah, let's go around this way. There's one there. There's a bunch of them over there. There's a bunch lined up right there. That one's kerosene. There's one hiding in the corner back there. That's a lantern you're supposed to be able to cook on. That one's weird. I think Benjamin Franklin used to take that one camping. There's one sitting up there. That's a box of paint stirring sticks. We could build a small campfire on the welding bench. Well, I grabbed that one off the shelf. Let's take it inside and clean it up a little bit and see if it's all there. Okay, let's bring this in here to the bench and open it up and see what we got. Yeah, it's been through a yard sale at some point. Or an auction or something. Alright, let's open it up here. Well, it does look like everything's there. It's got some spider webs in it. We'll have to clean that out. It's also got a sticker up there that says $7.50, so at some point it was sold for $7.50. This one's been out on the shelf out there for a long time, and I'm pretty certain that we've never had this one lit before. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Tank doesn't have any fuel in it. That's probably good. There's probably a date on the tank somewhere, but I'm not sure where it would be on this. But I'm guessing that this is probably from the 40s or 50s. There's the cap that you open up to put fuel in it. This one's got the pump. Hopefully that works. That could be a deal breaker if we can't get it to pump any air in there. Let's get the air gun and blow some of the spider webs out of here first, and then we'll see if we can get that to pump up. Alright. leg doesn't lock in place very good. Let's see if we can put a little bit of oil in here and get this to pump up. I'm gonna take it apart. This one's just got the little wire bail. So I'm gonna take that apart, see what the leather looks like in it. I know this has been on the shelf out there in the side building for years, and it probably wasn't used for years and years before that. So I'll pop it apart real quick and see what it looks like. Oh, the leather in it, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks really good. It's dry. We'll get some oil to soak it in and see if we can soften it up a little bit. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of this oil in this pan and let this soak for a few minutes. I asked Dad if he had any oil, and he said he had air tool oil. And this is going to pump air in there, so it ought to work. Soak it up good. And let it sit there and soak for a few minutes and see if that leather will soften up a little bit. While we're doing that, see if we can get the fuel cap to come loose. It's probably not been off there in a while. Came right off. Even though it's not been off there in a while, it popped right loose. I don't know if you can see in there, but the gasket looks pretty good. I'll bet it will still seal good enough to use it for now. Tank looks nice and clean inside. Alright, that's been soaking a few minutes. I'll try to show you. You can gently squeeze the sides of it and try to get it limbered up a little bit so that it'll spread out and make contact with the sides of the cylinder that it goes in. You got to be really careful. These old leather cups, if you get very rough with them, you'll rip them, and then you have to find one to replace it. This goes back down into that tube. It just slides over the square key on there, slides down in there. And your little retainer clip clips back in to hold it in place. Now let's see if it'll pump. Feels like it. Pump a little bit of air in there. Oh yeah, I don't have the cap on it. I won't pump any air pressure in it without the cap on it. Put the cap on, then we'll pump a little bit of air in there. Open the valve and see if we hear anything. I don't know if you can hear it, but I definitely hear it. So that means it probably will work. Ooh. Oh, who put that cap on so tight? All right, let's get some fuel to put in it. Got a vintage can of Gibson for gasoline, stoves, lanterns, and catalytic heaters. We use some vintage fuel in our vintage stove. You don't want to put brand new fuel in an old stove, especially the white cans of gas you get at Walmart for half the price of the Coleman fuel. You don't want to run that stuff in there. Go. We'll put a little bit of fuel in here. I'm not going to fill it very full because after we make a pot of coffee, it will probably go right back out on the shelf and sit there for another 20 years. So it doesn't need to be full of fuel just to sit out on the shelf. Typically when I fill a stove or lantern or something, I fill it up until it overflows and runs all over the place. But we won't do that today. Don't see any leaks around the fuel cap, and it held pressure, so we should be good there. Got it pumped up. Let's see if this will light and burn after who knows how many years of setting. Better make sure that's in the hole like it's supposed to be. Otherwise it'll light and burn all over the place where it's not supposed to. Up to light, down to burn. Nothing. There it goes. Just didn't have that valve open far enough. Once I opened up a little bit more, she took right off. I could be wrong, but I believe the up to light, down to burn on these starts it on the air that's in the top half of the tank, and then when you flip it down, it switches it over to the liquid fuel. So you've got to have that pickup tube hot enough to vaporize the liquid fuel as it passes through. Just for the heck of it, try to light the second burner. The little knob will pull out. And that won't pull out, but I can still get my fingers in there to turn it. There it goes. Burning for the first time in who knows how many years. Got a little smoke burning off of it, but it was full of spider webs and dirt and debris, so who knows what's burning off of there right now. And we only need one burner. I'll shut this one off, and we might as well get our water on there and start heating it up. Get in there and get down in there where you can see the fire. It's burning nice. Hard to believe after setting for, it could have been 40 years, who knows. We've had it out there for, it's probably been on the shelf out there for a dozen years at least, and it may have been around the shop here before we put that shelf up. So it probably has been a long time since it's been used. It's starting to go. I'm seeing a little bit of steam wisping out of there. I don't know if the whistler works on that kettle anymore or not. Yep, there it goes. Oh yeah, you gotta open that. Huh. Fill that right up to the top. Wait for it to run through. Can you do anything entertaining while it runs through for us, Dad?
Well, somebody's growling.
I guess we could, we got the cooker going, we could cook breakfast. Have you got a cast iron skillet around here anywhere?
Well, maybe.
Here's some of the stuff that's out in my dad's side building of the shop. Got a whole bunch of cast iron skillets up there. Have you got any eggs up in your fridge?
Oh no.
No? What do you have? Just that same expired summer sausage that's been up there?
Yeah, it's up there and they got some lactose-free milk.
Okay, we're not cooking breakfast. We'll just have coffee for breakfast. Well, that's not going to take too long to run through. It's almost halfway there already. Alright, I think the coffee's done dripping through there now. Pour a cup of coffee. We got a Idaho coffee cup and a Yellowstone coffee cup, because Dad's the same way I am. Every time you go somewhere on vacation, buy a coffee cup to bring home. Doesn't look excessively strong. Okay, coffee's done. I think it might be cool enough to take a sip without scalding my mouth.
I might try it.
Oh yeah, not bad. Pretty impressive for the old stove. Just sat out there for years and years. Bring it in, put a little fuel in it, pump it up, start it right up, and it performed exactly as it would have when it was brand new. If any of you folks are interested in this kind of stuff or antiques in general, we've got lots of Coleman stoves, lots of other Coleman products, lanterns and stuff that we're going to do some videos on, plus more videos on my Model A, my dad's Model A truck, so, and a whole room full of outboards that we want to get in here and get running one at a time. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, please hit the like and the subscribe button and come back to watch more videos later. Thanks.